guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name's Jenny and this is Prayer and Penguins. And today it is finally time to talk about my 2024 goals. So we're going to be talking about reading goals, goals for my personal life, and also Christian goals to support my faith. So in terms of how I go about choosing my goals, this is a system that I've developed over the last few years. And if you want to see it kind of talked about in a bit more depth, then you can check out last year's video full of all my goals for 2023. But generally, it begins with prayer and reflection. So I start to think about my goals in around kind of October time to give me plenty of time and allow space to think about them and to pray about them and to give plenty of time for God to direct me, to challenge me, to guide me in what my goals should be. And then I have a couple of different frameworks that I like to use for choosing my goals and tracking my goals. So for me, I like to use my bullet journal. This is my 2023 bullet journal, and this is where I keep my goals and how I track different things to do with my goals in here. And that just helps me have somewhere that I can go back to and look at my goals, remember my goals, and see how I'm doing. And it keeps me in the forefront of my mind. For me, goals are most helpful when I have something that I can track and see my progress and just be able to kind of work towards something that I kind of know whether I've done it or not. So the frameworks that I like to use for my main goals, I have 5 different categories that I like to use. So I have personal habits, I have relationships and community, I have ministry, so here on this YouTube channel and my blog, as well as kind of other involvement in church as well. Then I have reading, which is technically a new one for this year. I have split it out from my last category, which is kind of other, everything else. It now has its own specific section of my goals, just because I do like to track my reading and set myself goals in that area specifically. So this year I am focusing on 2 kind of main goals for each of those categories. As I said, most of them are things that I can track very easily, but a couple of them are just kind of reminders, things I want to be thinking about throughout the whole year and just kind of monitoring. And we'll get to those when we get into exactly what the goals are. This year I'm also going to be doing a 24 in 2024 challenge again. I've done something like this for quite a few years now, and this year I'm going to be doing 12 kind of fun things that I want to do and 12 mini goals, so just things that I can tick off and I've either done them or I haven't done them. And then the last thing that I'll be doing is a 24 24s in 2024 challenge setup, which is an idea I got from Jessie Corin here on YouTube. And you can probably get the idea from these different things that I'm doing that I just love making lists and setting these kind of gamified goal tracking systems up. I find these really helpful for me, and I really recommend them if this is something that you find helpful with your goals. If not, if you don't find these kind of game setups and tracking things off very helpful, then you need to find a system that does work for you, whether that's just having more overarching New Year's resolutions or things that you can perhaps check in just once a quarter. But we do have a lot to get through in these goals, so let's get into them. First up, we're going to start with my main goals and those 5 categories within them. So for personal habits, my first goal is to read the Bible. So that may seem very broad, kind of completely goes against the like tracking thing that I was talking about, because it isn't like read X books of the Bible or read the whole Bible even. This is just a very low pressure goal. I just want to read the Bible more. I want to enjoy reading the Bible and just kind of get back into that habit. So this is just kind of a low pressure reminder type goal. But there is something else that I'll get onto later that is hopefully going to help me towards that goal. My second goal is to write more prayers. So as you know, this channel is Prayer and Penguins. We love prayer, we love writing prayers, and I just want to get back into that habit of writing prayers for different things that are happening, whether that's around the world, whether that's locally, whether that's in my life. Actually writing out prayers is something I find really helpful, and I love to have those prayers to go back to. So I want to start writing those a bit more intentionally, and I'm going to track those in my goals page. Then we come on to the relationships category, and my first goal is to do 12 family days out. So this is something I just want to be more intentional about, making sure that I'm going out with family, and that could be me, my husband and my daughter, it could be with my parents and my sister, it could be with in-laws and brothers and sisters-in-law. There's lots of different people that it could be, but just making that effort to go out and to do something together as a family, and it just creates some really lovely memories and some really lovely days out. And my second goal in this category is to make new friends. So we are very likely going to be moving at some point in 2024, moving to a slightly new area and into a new house. So I do want to be intentional about trying to make friends. I think making friends as an adult is just so much harder than when you're a child, but I want to be intentional about building those relationships rather than just kind of hiding in my house and keeping myself to myself. Our next category is ministry, and my first goal here is to create a better content creation system. Creating content, whether it's blogs or videos or Instagram reels, whatever it is, does take up a lot of time, and it can be kind of stressful, and I end up just not doing as good a job because I'm trying to fit too much in. So I want to have a system that can kind of streamline this, make it better, make it more efficient, and allow me to kind of make better content but without being so stressed. Do I know if this system exists? No, maybe it doesn't, but I want to see how I can improve my systems and make it better, whether that's in the planning and the writing stages, whether that's in filming, whether that's in editing and kind of scheduling and all that kind of stuff too. So again, not really a trackable thing, but something I just want to check in on regularly and see how I can make improvements. And my second goal in this category is to write 24 blog posts. If you didn't know, I have a blog, also called Prayer and Penguins, and it's over at arnoldpraise.co.uk, where I share kind of similar stuff to what I do over here, but in blog form. So we talk about prayer, exploring the Bible, and Christian life and motherhood. So do check that out if you're interested. But I do want to kind of get into a much better habit of writing and sharing blog posts over there, because I'm just very inconsistent at the moment and I want to kind of get into the habit of a lot more. So my goal for 2024 is to do 24 blog posts, so twice a month basically. Do let me know down in the comments if there's any blog posts that you'd be particularly interested in reading, topics that you want to hear more about, prayer ideas that you want to hear more about, anything like that. My next category of goals is reading goals, and my first goal in this category is to read 12 Christian books, so one per month roughly. But I have so many Christian books, non-fiction and fiction, that I want to get to. They're on my TBR, some of them have been sat there for quite a while, that I just often don't get round to. And there's also so many coming out that I'm really excited to get them when they're out and to read them, but I've got so many on my backlist as well that I just need to get through them, and I want to get through them, and I'm excited to read them. So I want to add this in as quite a specific goal to help me just remember to pick at least one up per month. And my other reading goal is to read 6 translated books. Again, I have quite a few translated books on my TBR that I really want to get to, and I just find translated books so interesting in terms of how language is used differently in different places, as well as how kind of plot is used differently and characters are written differently, and just so many things that can be quite different to the way that is kind of normal in British and American literature. And for reading goals, I'd also have a bit of a bonus goal, which is to complete my Books and Bibles reading challenge. If you haven't seen the announcement for this reading challenge, I will link that down in the description below, but I am running a reading challenge for the whole of 2024 to help us to read both the books that are on our TBR, as well as to read more of the Bible. So definitely go and check out the announcement video if you want to hear all the details and the prompts and what you need to do. But I am going to be tracking this in my bullet journal in a different spread, so not quite in the goals page, but it's got its own dedicated spread. But I do want to try and completely complete that throughout the year. And then our last category is other. So this is kind of everything else, mostly just kind of fun things. So my first goal here is to get a new parkrun PB. So personal best. I think this is quite a challenging goal for me to set myself, because it does require quite a lot of improvement on my current parkrun time. But recently I did get the best time that I've got in quite a few years, so I would like to bring that down even further over the course of this year. So my personal best at the moment is 30 minutes and 46 seconds. No, I am not super speedy at all, and that was a time that I did quite a long time ago, and I'm quite significantly slower at the moment. But I would really like to just work towards getting that time faster and faster, and hopefully set a new parkrun PB at some point. And then the last of my main goals is to set up our new home. So as I said, we are very likely going to be moving at some point in 2024, and we are likely to be moving into a slightly bigger place, a place with a garden, for example. So I do just want to take the time to set up each room and make it into a place that works for us as a family, that we can all really enjoy and feels like our home. So those are my main goals for 2024, but let's get into my 24 in 2024 challenge kind of prompts. So as I said, I'm going to be doing 12 just kind of fun things that I want to do throughout the year, and also 12 mini goals. And hopefully you'll kind of get the idea and get the distinction as we go through them. Let's start with the 12 kind of fun things that I want to do. So these are go on holiday, go to the farm, go to the zoo, go to a beach, go to the theatre, see some live music, go orienteering, have a games day, go out for dinner, go swimming, do a walk or a hike, some kind of big walk, and have a barbecue. So as you can see, those are just very simple but fun things that I want to get to throughout the year and just kind of see when I do them. This is very much a kind of low pressure challenge that I'm setting myself. And then my mini goals for the year are to reach 100 park runs. I'm on like 90 or so I think at the moment, so again this shouldn't be a difficult challenge. I just want to reach that number. Read a classic book, bake and decorate a cake, reach 1,500 subscribers here on YouTube, get up to date on my scrapbook, and if you saw my end of year 2023 goals video, you'll know that that was actually a goal on that list, which this will probably give you an indication as to how that goal went, and it was not well. So yes, at some point in 2024, I'm giving myself a bit more time to get caught up on my scrapbook. Read 70 books. This is my Goodreads goal for the year, just kind of read 70 books. Last year I think I set it at 25, then when I hit 25 I moved it up to 50, and we're now at, I want to say like 55 or so at the moment at the time of filming this. So we might hopefully get to about 60 by the end of the year. So next year we'll kind of see if we can improve and get to about 70. Again, this is very low pressure for me. The next goal is move house. I know this is kind of in mini goals, but it's just kind of something that I either do or I don't do, and hopefully we will definitely do it. And I think it is an achievement that I want to be able to celebrate and take off somewhere, so this is where it's going. Invite someone to dinner, whether that's someone in our new place of living, or whether that's inviting some old friends to come and see us, or while we're still here. Hit 4,000 watch hours, which is another YouTube goal for here. Get a 6-figure grant. Now, my job is a Trust and Foundations fundraiser for a charity, so I write applications to charitable trusts and ask them for money for the charity that I work for. So I want to be successful in a 6-figure grant, so a big grant. That's just kind of a work goal. I want to make something, who knows what, but make something, and play my clarinet. I haven't played my clarinet since I was pregnant with Georgia because it made me quite lightheaded while I was pregnant and wasn't very good during that time, but I would like to get back into it now. So those are my 24 in 2024 challenge prompts. Again, just such a fun little task that I can tick off when I do those things, but it's just so non-stressful. For me, I don't want my goals to be stressful. I don't want them to be something that I'm kind of desperately like running after. I want them to be things that I'm going to enjoy doing. And talking of fun things, the other framework that I use for my goals is the 24/24s in 2024. So this is choosing 24 things that I want to do 24 times throughout the year. So things that I want to do roughly twice a month. I did this in 23 with 23/23s in 2023, and now we have upped that to 24, and I've slightly changed out the things that I want to do based on kind of what worked well and what didn't work well last year. So the things that are on my list for this year are books, more books, which I feel like is slightly cheating, but last year I did books and then kind of was sad that I couldn't keep going after I reached 23. So this time I can get to 48 before I have to stop doing the little dot. Then we have films, TV show seasons, so not just TV shows because there's no way that I'm going to watch 24 different TV shows, but 24 seasons of TV shows. Songs loved, ideally kind of ones that I've discovered in that year or found or kind of really got back into. Games played, scrapbooking sessions, fun days out, different places visited, trying something new, whether that's meeting someone new or doing something for the first time or going to a new place. Gifts given, runs or hikes or walks, blog posts, videos, shorts or reels, pins made on Pinterest because I haven't done that for a while, so I'd quite like to get back into that habit. 24 lots of 20 subscribers, so I didn't just want to do kind of every new subscriber, but every 20 subscribers I get to add a dot to that column. Email subscribers, so if you didn't know, I have a mailing list that I periodically will send out emails on. Again, something that I want to get back into the habit of, and I kind of say that every year, but I do want to kind of keep building that list and actually start using it So again, if you're interested in that, I will link the mailing list down in the description below. Emails sent, to actually get me to send emails to those email subscribers. Prayers written, which I kind of mentioned in my main goals, but I'd quite like to track here as well. Prayers for Georgia is prayers that I've written in her prayer journal that's dedicated to her. Books of the Bible that I've read, chapters of the Bible that I've studied, and 10k steps days. So how many days have I done 10,000 steps or more in that day? That, to be honest, is a lot of goals and a lot of things to track. But I quite enjoy the tracking process and creating these spreads and being able to tick things off when I've done them. All of those things that I'm doing that are 24/24s in 2024, each time I do them, I just add a little dot and it creates a bit of a graph. And then for some of them, I'm also going to be writing down what each of the things are. So for films, TV show seasons, songs loved, games played, fun days out, places visited, trying something new, and chapters of the Bible studied, all of those I've given myself a space that I can write out what those things are so I can keep track of it, which I find quite interesting. And a lot of the other things that I'm tracking in here are also listed out somewhere else. So books, for example, I have my reading tracker, which is a different spread in my bullet journal, but it means I don't need to repeat that in this section. But those are all of my goals for 2024. Do comment down below and let me know, what are your goals for next year? Are they the same as some of mine? Are they completely different? What exciting things are you hoping to do next year? But we do hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Maybe it gave you some ideas for what your goals maybe should be and how you can go about choosing and setting up your goals. But if you did enjoy this video and find it helpful, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me and Arnold. We create videos every week about prayer, exploring the Bible and living out your faith, as well as bookish, planning and motherhood content as well. Do make sure you join the Books and Bibles Reading Challenge if some of your goals are reading more books and reading more from the Bible as well. I'll link all the details down in the description. And if you'd like to see how I track these goals in my bullet journal, you can check out my 2024 bullet journal setup right here. And we will see you very soon for a new video. Bye!